There we go.
All right. Just give us 1 second here. While Jesse's doing that, why don't we just start with just very, very quick introductions. I'm Chris Conway. I'm the Executive Director of the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce. Kate?
I'm Kate Cobes. I am the Outreach and Development Coordinator for the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Jessie Bouclier, the Member Service Coordinator, who is having some technical difficulties.
That sounds like my problem.
We'll just
I
go-
was going to ask if anybody could tell me how to do a background, but I'm thinking that's way out of my league.
So while Jesse's figuring that out, Sue, just why don't you give us your name and the company you work for?
Okay, Sue Lucas, IMS Barter.
Great. John?
Hi, John Madigan, and my company is Executive Talent Services.
Great, welcome. Jenna?
Thank you.
Jenna Castingway, Playhouse Theater Group, which is not a new member, but I'm a new employee, so I figure, what the heck?
And that is the way this session is designed. It's for new members, but it's also designed for people that are new to their organization. And we actually always encourage our longtime members to come because we're constantly updating our programs and benefits. Emma?
Hi, I'm Emma. I own Hope and Stetson. I bought it in January of 2020. And so I am new to all of this, sort of, but new to the chamber.
Great, welcome. Crystal?
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Crystal, co-founder and executive director of Diane's Helping Hands, a nonprofit organization that focuses on providing help and comfort to cancer patients.
Great, thank you. Chris Clark?
Hi, I'm Chris Clark. I'm a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. Also the chairman of the Chamber's Minority Business Network.
Bobby?
Hi, I'm Bobby Lavoie. I work for Hudson Agency in Canton, and we're independently owned insurance agency out here. And this is my second chamber meeting, so just recently joined.
Welcome. Okay.
Have everyone?
We just had somebody else
No,
hop on. We were just doing intros.
Other person wanna?
Yep.
Yeah, she had a phone number, not a name. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi. I'm Anne Laporte Bryan. I recently joined. I'm a bookkeeper in West Hartford.
Excellent. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be
Great.
here.
So I think we're almost there.
Why this keeps doing this? I don't know.
All right.
There we go.
Great. So as I mentioned a bit earlier, this is Chamber 101. And this session is designed for our new members, first and foremost, so that you can basically see all the programs, benefits, and resources available to you as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and also additional opportunities as well. But we do also encourage our existing members or people that are perhaps new to an organization or business that's been a member for a while to make sure that they understand what's available to them. So we'll go on to basically talk about our goals for today. Really, the driving forces behind this is to make sure that your investment in the chamber is completely realized and that you know what is available for you as a member. We're going to talk about our mission because what we do always relates back to our mission statement. Show you who we are and what we do. Really to find what opportunities you want to take advantage of. And this is key. We have different types of businesses on here. Some of them, you know, are Main Street businesses. We have nonprofits. We have arts and culture. We have service providers. We also have people that work virtually. So for any business, there is things that you can utilize, and they may not be the same benefits and features that that's another business might be taking advantage of. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then really we want you to walk away with the tools to make your chamber membership successful and therefore your business successful. And these are some of the questions we ask people to consider while you're going through this program. The first is, what is the number one challenge facing your business? And when we do this in person, we usually just ask for somebody to jump in. So I'm just going to randomly call on somebody and ask for something. So Emma, what is the number one challenge facing your business right now?
For me, well, for us, it's getting to market and actually being able to get product to sell in the store that we've been able to touch and feel and see. We're doing it all virtually right now, which, you know, some stuff shows up and it's not what you've wanted. That and then also for me, understanding what the seasonal swings in West Hartford are. I can't, because of COVID as well, I can't seem to predict what's coming. So knowing how much to buy for what season and, you know, that kind of thing.
Got it. Okay. We'll go to the next question. Anne, what would be an ideal leader customer for you?
An ideal customer would be a small business, solopreneur, probably one-man show, one-person show, very small business. That's what I'm working on right now, working with.
Great. We have a lot of those in the chamber, as we have some very large businesses as well. Sue, what's a good business for you to network with?
Just about anything, but mostly people that their services, someone who's able to barter. You know, hard goods are tough these days because of COVID, so that's something I'm looking to get back into my market. But pretty much any business, we've got everything you could think of.
Okay, great. So John, how are you currently marketing your business?
Thanks. A lot of what's listed here, you know, we do social media, almost never do print, honestly. We do have networking groups, and I found over the years that there are certain types of other professionals out there that end up being good referral sources. So just alerting them. So for example, one of the services we provide is outplacement, and employment attorneys are a great referral source, right? They're working with companies that sometimes are downsizing, and so they make referrals. We also help other executives find work, even if they're employed. And sometimes search firms become really great referral sources, right? So I ended up targeting sources of referrals and, you know, trying to up the sort of referral part of the business. And those are just two that, so yeah, those have been really good targeted sources for us.
Great. And that's really key and very important, and something we constantly stress with our networking opportunities. That our networking opportunities are much less about the person you're networking with. In some cases that is, that person could be a potential good customer, but where you really leverage the power of networking in the chamber is identifying those businesses that you can be good referral sources for, and vice versa, that can be good referral sources for you, and getting to know them and strategically working together to better both of your businesses. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing that already. And then the last one here, we're just going to put this out here. We do have a chamber staff, and we are available to our members. So as we go through this, if there's certain things that you really want to dig a little deeper on, or really want to understand a little bit better, we do make ourselves available to kind of work through those with you and match you with the right opportunity or resource. So this is our mission. The goal of the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce is to encourage the development of business and enhance the quality of life in the West Hartford community. And our tagline is that we are a business and community organization, and we do try to fulfill that in both ways. Obviously, when you have a strong business community, you also then have a stronger community. It becomes a more desirable place for people to visit, for people to move their families and to move their businesses to. Something I also like to point out, and we do have an example of that on here with Jenna, probably about 10% of our members are nonprofit or not-for-profit organizations. And that is really key, that we are able to also provide resources for them to help amplify their message, but again, also connect them with people that could be, potential customers, sponsors, advocates, etc. So I do like to point that out. And then this is just the numbers. We are just over 600 member organization. That does make us the largest single town chamber in the greater Hartford area, and actually the fourth largest chamber in the greater Hartford area. All of the other ones above us are regional chambers that represent multiple towns, as many as 10. So the fact that we are, quote unquote, a single town chamber with that amount of members is actually quite unique. We are run through a board of directors, which we have a 28-member board of directors. We will be moving that number into the low 30s come the end of the month, when we renew our existing members members of our board that still qualify, and we are adding 6 new members with the start of our fiscal year on July 1st. The next thing is, while we are the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce, we have businesses in over 40 towns that are members of our organization. Some of them are even out of state. We have members in Western Massachusetts and New York as well. And the reason for that is the size of our organization, the desirability to network and do business in our community attracts businesses from outside of West Hartford. We have 7 active committees, which we'll go through those committees a little bit later. But these are, focused on particular areas: community engagement, membership, our minority business network, FLOW, our young professionals organization, our executive committee. We'll also be forming a business resource one as well, but we'll learn more about those. We say over 70 networking opportunities a year. In COVID, it's been significantly more than that. It's been well over 100. Today was our 60th virtual AM connections that we've done since the pandemic hit. And on top of that, we've had many other programs that we've been doing. And we are slowly going back into in-person. We've done a couple this week, and we have some coming up as well. And then thousands of referrals have been passed. For those of you who've been on connections, the last 15 minutes of that meeting is taken up with people sharing stories about how they got a referral from somebody, how they gave a referral to somebody, how they created a new partnership and pipeline of referrals for themselves. And then this is us. We introduced ourselves at the beginning. This is the day before our golf tournament last year, which was the first time we were together in 6 months. So we figured we'd take a picture. And then some real basic things. Have you been on the chamber website? Some of you joined online, so we know that you did at least visit the website once. Did you create your profile? And you can go in and adjust that and add some information there. Our calendar of events is without a doubt our most popular page. People always want to see what's going on with the chamber. And one of the benefits of membership is that organizations and businesses, if you're holding an event as a member, you can put that on there as a community event that people can find. And as I mentioned, the Playhouse is on here. So if you're ever curious about what's going on at the Playhouse on Park, they've got their performances there, but also the other programming that they do. We are active on social media. Facebook, we've got about 2,000 followers. Instagram, we're just shy of 1,000 at this point. We have a LinkedIn. We have a LinkedIn for the chamber, but then also the chamber staff. We all have our own with hundreds to thousands of followers, and we also do share stuff there. And we do have a Twitter account as well. Also a YouTube page, or YouTube channel, I should say.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, that's right. Look at me. The bonus of being virtual with all your cameras on is I can see y'all are paying attention. Y'all are looking down at your phones. Y'all are looking at other screens. Let's focus. If you really want to get something out of this, that's why you're here, right? So this is the West Hartford Chamber homepage. That's basic, right? Anything that you need can be done from here. You can see all the tabs up here. We regularly change them to base them on whatever the current needs are in the moment, right? So if something changes, when we had Corona hit, you can see we added coronavirus, we added emergency business resources, we added takeout time. So these are all things that we do based off of what our members are needing right now. One of the bonus pieces of us, which we didn't really mention prior, which we might normally, is that all of us were members of the chamber before we actually worked for the chamber. So we were all in various, Kate was in nonprofit and sales, Chris was in corporate and entrepreneurial sales, I was in working for a smaller company. So we were all members of the chamber before we became employees of the chamber, which means we come at this from a perspective of the member and not from the chamber administration. Take a closer look at the website, right? So up at the top of the right-hand side of the website, there are some buttons, right? There's a join the chamber. So if you haven't joined the chamber, you can click on that, fill out the information and join the chamber. I believe everyone on here has pretty much, except for maybe one or two. So that is a way to join the chamber, and otherwise there's the member login right there. So this is what we're talking about, right? Member login, you sign in with your username and password. If you don't know it, or if you don't think you have one, shoot me an email. I'm happy to send you that out and you can set it up. Once you open it, this is what you'll see. The screen that you see here is pretty much what pops up. It's got a welcome message, and on the side are a whole bunch of shortcuts, right? So in those shortcuts, take a closer look, it's your profile, right? Your personal information. You need to make sure all of the personal information is correct so that we can get a hold of you. The company information, this is really, really, really important. Make sure this is correct because this is what goes on our website. So this is what's on our directory. So when people are looking for your business, this is what they see on the West Hartford Chamber website. So please make sure that that's accurate. You can also update your employees and make sure their info is up to date, as well as your company marketing info. So if you change Facebook, if you change your website, if you change, your handles, you can update that here. If you need to add an employee, you can do the same thing. Events. So when you look at the chamber website, here's another piece of it, right? So our events calendar looks like this. As you can see, you click on the events, it drops down, events calendar, you click there, this is what you see. These orange ones are events that all of our members have posted. So these events are member events. They're not, they're not the chamber, like Kate and Chris and I are not running these events. We might attend these events if we can make it, but we're not running them. The ones that you see that we do run are the green and the blue ones. The blue ones are Flow, which is our Future Leaders of West Hartford. We'll get more to that later. And then our green ones are the chamber events. So you can see any of those. So they're easily color coded. So if you want to be involved in a chamber event, you know exactly what to click on to check out what the chamber is bringing to the table. To register, click here, right? So we look at this, this is where you are, right? Chamber 101, how can the chamber help you? So there is a button when you go to an event, right? You click on an event, it opens up and you actually see a register here. When you click the register button, this is what pops up, right? And it says member login or not a member. If you're a member, you enter your username and password. Again, if you forgot or you think you don't have one, send me an email, I'm happy to send it out to you. If you're not a member, you can click on the right-hand side to continue event registration. These are our social media handles. Obviously, if you do a search, you can find us, but these are the information here. So these are similar to what our pages look like right now. It might be tweaked, obviously, but this is the basic information. So we are on all of these platforms, and we also have a YouTube channel now also. So Facebook, when you follow, I don't know how many of you are tech savvy, but if you're not, on Facebook, there is a follow settings, right? So you come down here, you can, I wish I was in person because I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see it. You can't. But if you could, wait, here we go. I know what to do. Aha. All right. So if you could, you'd see right here, there are those three little dots, right? And those are what you click on, and then you click follow settings. See this? Follow settings right here? Okay, follow settings. So once that pops up, you come over here, follow settings, news feeds, favorites, defaults, news. So you can set this up to see when you see us, right? So preferably, we like to think that you want to see our stuff pretty often so you know when we're doing things. So make us follow first, please. All right. Let's see. Now let's see if I can get out of there. Oh, there we go. Okay. And so here we have what events does the chamber do? So we do a ton of events. As Chris had mentioned earlier, we do virtual connections right now every Friday, and even coming into when we start going into in person, we historically were doing the first and third Fridays of every month in person. We are not looking at that going away. So we are looking, even when we do go into in person, we will still probably continue to do a virtual version on either the off weeks or in conjunction with in some format. Which obviously on the events calendar, we'll keep you guys posted, and in our email newsletter, we'll send out, we'll keep everyone up to date. We do virtual business after hours, and we do when we were in person, again, typically the second Thursday of every month. So as we start to move still into in person, especially coming into the summer months, we're really excited to be able to have more outside events so that people feel more comfortable. So we're looking forward to that. Chamber 101, that's where you are. We do this quarterly so that folks can keep up to date on what the chamber is doing. Our committee events happen depending on what the committee is, as often or as little as possible. Our committees, Economic Development Committee meets once a month, our Minority Business Network twice a month, Flow once a month, but we also have events. So it just depends on what the committee is and what the preference is for that situation. We have signature events. These are our big ones. These are our punch you in the face kind of amazing events that we do that we spend a lot of time and effort doing. So there's the annual Mayor's State of the Town. There's the Economic Development update. There's our Spotlight Awards and annual meeting, and there's our golf tournament. We have done other ones. We've done business expos and things like that. Obviously, if we do something like that, we keep you posted.
I just want to jump in. Jenna asked a good question. As we move back into in-person, are we going to be keeping the same timeline? We are going to try to keep the same timeline, but that is going to be subject to change. For example, we did a business after hours on a Tuesday because that worked best for the business this month. But all of that information will be on our events calendar and in the weekly view, which gets sent out every Thursday. So we try to communicate that the best we can.
Yep. Thanks, Kate. All right. There we go. Thousands of connections. As you can see, we've got lots of virtual ones on our connections meetings. We get anywhere from 30 to 60 people, depending on the week. If we went down to less than 30 for more than a couple of weeks, we would have canceled the every week, but we haven't, and we continue to get that many people. Yay. Which means you can become a virtual connections breakfast sponsor. $75 per meeting, very inexpensive, and you get your name all over our stuff. Like, see how Kate and I have this background right here? We like to put our logos up on things like this so that folks can see who's sponsoring our events. Yay! Virtual business after hours. That's a great picture of us. We look all very serious, but usually we're having a good chuckle. We're doing, you know, conversations. I have questions we'll ask, everything from who would you want on your team in a zombie apocalypse to, you know, what are business challenges that you're experiencing. So runs the gamut, lots of fun. Chamber 101, you are virtually here. So this is one of the things that we do, like I said, quarterly. These are some photos of our signature events. So golf tournament, state of the town, our annual meetings. And yeah, golf tournament. Okay. So sorry, I had to move my screen because I'm staring at everyone too. So marketing opportunities. Let's see. So the chamber directory is one that goes out every year. And that, so we have our website directory, right, which is easy and that's updated quickly. But then we have our print directory, which Chris, if you look, is holding up our most recent one right there. If you look at your screen, there's Chris. Ta-da, Chris. He's holding up our directory, and our directory is categorized and alphabetized. What? And there's advertising opportunities. So you can get, like, you know, business card sizes, you can get half page, you can get full page. Lots of fun to be able to give out. And we actually put those in a lot of places. So our real estate agents get boxes of them. The town hall gets boxes of them. So when folks come to town and they need to sign up for things or license things, or, you know, all of the fun things that when you move to a town you need to do, they have the opportunity to take a directory. We also give them out to some of the postal workers if they want them. There's a couple of other industries that also gets them, moving companies, things like that, that we give out to. So as new folks come into town, new businesses come into town, they have access to those directories. So that's a really great opportunity to be able to get your information out there. Also, our website directory is a good opportunity because chamber websites are considered as a trusted website as far as Google's SEO. So when some of our members, actually, when you Google them, our site pops up before their site pops up of their entry on our directory. So a really great opportunity there. There are also, so there's the directory, that was last year's. There are marketing opportunities of eBlasts. So this is just $150, but they are reserved for our members only. And they are designed, basically, you send me whatever you have, verbiage, images, things like that, pictures people love. So I can create those and then send out a copy of them to you so you can decide what you want to change, what you want to add, and then we come up with a mutually beneficial timeline to send them out. So eBlasts are a great opportunity to get your information out there. Our email list right now is about 2,700. So if that's something that you're interested in, we would love to be able to do that for you. That's basically the information there. eBlast. Banner ads. Kate, take it away.
Certainly. So we have the ability to put banner ads on our website. We primarily put them in one of two places, either on our events calendar and in our member directory. And depending on who you're trying to reach, we can help you place that ad properly. So the events calendar is more of a broad reaching marketing campaign because that is our most heavily trafficked site. So you're going to get the most eyeballs on that ad. Because of the wide net and the high visibility, we do charge $100 a week for that. And you can only do a single week at a time. That gives other members an opportunity to put their ad in that high value real estate space. But we can then do multiple weeks over a period of time. So you're not limited to just 1 week. It's just 1 week consecutively. But then the member directory, there's banner ads there as well. And that is more for reaching people at the bottom of the funnel, people, because it is category specific and category exclusive. So let's say that you are an insurance company and you want your ad to be in the insurance brokers page of the online directory. So you're reaching people who are searching for that particular product. So it's a lower down the funnel capture. You're getting people who are in market for that product and are currently searching for that particular category of services. And that is a $50 a week investment, and you can purchase that for longer periods of time. So in addition to having the banner ad at the top of the page, that also gives you top search results. So as the sponsor of that particular category, you will be #1 in the search results if somebody were to look. So it's a great way to reach people who are currently in the purchase portion of the sales cycle.
All right, so then we come to our marketing opportunities that are hot deals. So these are pieces of like if you have a promo going, if you're offering a sale, if you're offering some sort of service that you don't normally offer, like we're not talking about like insurance agents being able to do like, oh, we want to offer a free quote, yet you normally do that, so that doesn't count as a hot deal. But like when you run a promotion, like you've got some sort of 20% off sale going on, like these are great opportunities to be able to get this information out there. So you make sure all of this information is correct. As you can see, we're back to the shortcuts on, again, I'm pointing to the screen like you can see me. So as you can see on the left-hand side, the shortcuts, we're back to that information, the personal information, company information. Right under the company information is the hot deals. So you select that and you can fill out all the information. You make sure it's all correct. And then we go in and we approve it. So that is, you can do it either for chamber members only, or you can do it for the general public. So that's up to you on what you want to do with that. Let's see. Okay. So this is what the hot deals page looks like. So when someone clicks on hot deals from the home page, this is what it looks like. So you can see all of this basic information. You can see the updated information. They're a promotion that saves people money. Sponsorships. Kate, again, take it away.
Yes. So there are a couple of ways that you can utilize sponsorships. It's a great way to sort of align yourself with the various events that we have, get your name out there and build that community goodwill, so to speak. And I actually create personalized sponsorship packages. So if this is something you're interested in utilizing in order to help promote your business and sort of get your name and your logo out there, just sit down with me for a few minutes so I can learn a little bit more about what your marketing objectives are. I can create a package for any budget, for any purpose. I've done, $500 packages. I've done $8,000 packages. So I'm willing to work with anybody. And I can do, if you're looking more for a business to consumer versus a business to business, if you're looking more for things where you're going to be on site and visible versus just logo awareness, if you're looking to focus in on the town of West Hartford versus that 40+ town reach, I can set up what you need. My background is in advertising before I worked for the chamber. So I've gotten really good at helping find the right vehicle to highlight your business among our community and member engagement.
Emma also asked a great question on the hot deals. If they cost anything to list them, they do not, they're free. So they are a benefit of your membership. They're reserved only for members. We don't allow anyone to post, we don't allow non-members to post anything on our calendars, and we don't allow non-members to send out e-blasts, and we don't allow non-members to post hot deals. So those are only member benefits. Let's see. Okay, we have committees, lots of committees. So we have the membership committee, the economic development committee, the golf committee, the minority business network, the business resource committee, the community engagement committee, and flow. So as far as the membership committee, we have one of our board members who heads that up along with my help. And that's basically looking to retain members, make sure that you feel like you're getting value out of your membership, and gain new members. I encourage anyone who you know, or if you talk to anyone that is a member, or if you feel like you're confused, you're missing something, you feel like we should have something that you wish we had, you feel like you're missing out on something, you feel like you're not fully getting your benefit, please reach out to me. We would love to have a conversation and be able to see if there are things that we could do to improve that. Economic, let me see if I have a, okay. So Economic Development Committee, Chris, do you want to speak on that? You're muted.
Yep, got it. So our Economic Development Committee meets once a month, and it is basically is tied to economic development. So a couple of things that go on a typical basis. The chamber has a very, very good relationship with the town, specifically the town's economic development coordinator, Kristen Gorski. So she will always be giving an update of what's going on with new businesses coming into town, new developments, things that are on the horizon. Also, any changes in zoning. She will also discuss things like infrastructure changes. So if roads are going to be shut down because sewer lines are being replaced, or if a new part of town is being wired for 5G, that's all the information. She is also a resource for our businesses. While we do overlap in some areas, there are things that Kristen specializes in, and then there's things that the chamber specializes in. Also with the Economic Development Committee, when appropriate, we do consider, I guess, petitions, for lack of a better word. Perhaps there's a zoning regulation that just simply doesn't make any sense or isn't getting in the way of your business. There could be some sort of a bill going through the state that may or adversely, or if passed, could positively affect your business. We are not specifically a lobbying organization, but when those type of things come to us, they are certainly considered. We have an application process that businesses or organizations can submit. They are considered by the Economic Development Committee first. If they pass through that, they go to our executive committee, which is the leadership of the organization, and then it is determined, what action the chamber can take. And the action can be anything from a letter to a state representative, or to the mayor or the town council. It could involve personal testimony, which I've done on many occasions with the town council, asking, sharing the chamber's point of view on something that's come up, and asking, for consideration of that. So that is the basics of it. We're still meeting virtually the first Thursday of the month, virtually from 8 to 9 a.m. And if you want more information about that, please reach out to me, or I can connect you with our economic development chairperson, Chuck Corsi.
Awesome. No falling asleep, everyone. Golf committee. So we have our golf committee, which only pretty much happens when we are planning the golf tournament. What? Weird. So that basically comes towards the end of the summer, early fall. So we start planning probably April, May-ish, and then kind of go from there and add on as necessary. So if anyone's interested, likes golfing, enjoys spending time with other humans out in potentially nice weather. Sometimes it's not nice weather, but potentially nice weather on a beautiful course. We would love your involvement on the golf committee. The Minority Business Network, which we will get to and Clark can talk about momentarily. Business Resource Committee, Community Engagement, and Flow. So next, Minority Business Network. Clark, take it away.
I do not have as much energy as Jesse, but I will try to follow and keep pace. So, as I mentioned, I'm Chris Clark, the chairman of the Minority Business Network. The Minority Business Network is a committee under the West Hartford Chamber, and our major focus is to provide resources and opportunities for business owners and professionals of color. When you look at our town, West Hartford, we are an incredibly diverse And one of the points of pride for our elementary schools is there's 90 languages spoken under the roof of one of our local elementary schools. And when you walk around the community, you see that reflected in the community. You see it reflected in the businesses. We absolutely wanted to see that reflected in the decision-making capacity within the West Hartford Chamber. One of the things you will hear me say very often is people don't know to ask for access to a room if they don't know the building exists. So one of my causes is to get out and to champion the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce as an exceptional resource for doing business, particularly for people of color who may not necessarily know that we're here or may not necessarily know that we're as welcoming as we are. So if you have friends or family members or colleagues that you think can benefit from being members of the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce, absolutely spread the word. Each one, teach one.
Hey, Chris, can you
wanna
talk
talk a
about
little bit about
colorful conversations and the mastermind?
We've got some great programming coming out of this committee.
So, yeah, and I would be remiss to not to mention some of the amazing things that we do through under the auspices of the Minority Business Network. So we have an ongoing series that we do quarterly called Colorful Conversations, and these started off as a partnership with Charter Oak State College as part of their Shea Lecture series, initially talking about points of concern for their student population. And their major conversation last year was about economic disparities. We decided to take the ball and run with it and create our own series here with the West Hartford Chamber, particularly around events and issues that affect communities of color. So our first colorful conversation was around the elections. So we had 4 of our state representatives join in a conversation about the impact of the elections and how they affected communities of color and their commitments to the communities that they serve. Interesting thing, that conversation happened the day after the insurrection at the Capitol. So that was an interesting conversation. Our secondary conversation was around technology and barriers to entry for communities of color. And then we have an upcoming colorful conversation regarding education. So just really great conversations and impactful conversations. We tend to get a pretty good turnout for those, as well as continued viewership on the Chamber's YouTube channel. The other pretty big thing that we do, and this happens monthly, is a series called Masterminds, where we bring all of the Chamber's resources and our collective experiences to bear to help our members. So, people come to these meetings with specific challenges they're facing in their practice, or maybe to just have somebody take an objective look at what they're doing. It may not necessarily be a problem per se, but it's just kind of an audit of your business practices through the eyes of your fellow chamber members. So that's been really, really well received. I've been in the hot seat myself and have had people provide some great feedback as to what I'm doing in my business and ways that I can reach more people and do more and better business.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
All right. Advocacy.
I pretty much covered that with the economic development update. But the only thing I will add to that is there's something called Connecticut Business Day. It's usually in the spring. We would typically bring a group of chamber members up to the Capitol along with other chambers and their members as well, to the tune of several hundred. So that will come up again next spring. But again, we do have direct access to our elected officials at the town, at the state, and at the federal level. Depending on what the concern is, we can always reach out to them or connect you with them if there's something that we can be particularly helpful in helping you resolve with whatever level of government that you need to be working with.
Awesome. We also do community engagement of various amounts of it in various ways. One is toy and necessity drives that we did with Flow. We help out with Celebrate West Hartford. We did junior achievement. This was the pride flag that was the crosswalk that we put in Blueback. That wasn't us. I don't mean we, us. I mean like the royal we, like the town, and like we were involved in it, things like that. So we're super involved in our current community. We, exactly, the royal we, Clark. We're also really good friends with all of the other chambers in the area. We're very collaborative, except when it comes to walking wellness challenges. That's the only time we get real competitive. So if you heard anything on Connections this morning about us talking smack to Tiffany Ham-Gouveia, that's all related to only that. We actually get along really well with all the other chambers. And we enjoy a monthly call with them. Also, the Young Professionals is involved with a Connecticut-wide Young Professionals group, so that's really exciting. Flo, the future leaders of West Hartford. Kate, do you want to talk about that?
Certainly, Flo, it's a committee for our young professionals. We identify that as 21 to 40-ish. We try not to discriminate based on age, especially because I am pushing the upper limits myself. So our historically, the programming that comes out of this committee falls into 3 categories: business development, social, and philanthropic. There is usually a social component to all 3 of those because at the end of the day, we're trying to build those connections and foster the next generation of business leaders here in town. We do have an event coming up in the near future. We're looking forward to our return to in-person. But even in a virtual world, we were able to host online happy hours. We were able to do, for example, we did a couple of trivia nights to help raise money for a local nonprofit. So we have remained very active. And as Jesse mentioned, we've also partnered with other YP groups throughout the state. We've done a number of programs, including speed networking events for young professionals statewide. We've done a lot in diversity and inclusion training, and we've created an anti-racism book club to help further educate and learn ourselves about some of these issues that are facing our society. And that's just been fantastic, the ability to get rid of those geographic barriers to young people coming together and making sure that everybody has access to the programs and the resources we provide.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. We look forward to when we can be doing these again. Yay. We just started doing some ribbon cuttings in person. I had my very first cutting random things, trying to drill out some teeth in our new Image Dental ribbon cutting. It's kind of a series that we do. Don't let Jesse touch the scissors. So we're very excited to be able to be getting back in person, to be able to do ribbon cuttings and see each other in person. It's very exciting. Let's see. So, does anyone have any questions? Bueller? No? Fantastic. How can you apply what you learned today? I'd love to hear from, let's see, Bobby. You need to, there you go. You got it.
There we go. No, definitely I can see, working in insurance, the power of networking. It's about making a lot of connections. One way we source opportunities is just sort of random internet leads, but usually that's very difficult. It's a lot of cold calling. You can't make a connection with a person as well. Whereas networking, somebody starts to learn about you and your personality, that you're able to help, you're willing to support your community, and then it spreads from there, and they become more viable customers, and then they themselves, if you help them in turn, will also give out your name. And it's just the amplified power of networking. I think that's really important. So new to this, but I'm very excited to meet more people and expand my horizons.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. How about you, Anne?
Yeah, I'm also, well, to be very honest, one of the reasons why I joined was because of the network possibilities. I feel like I really need to reach out to more people, and I'm not very good at doing that myself personally. I'm kind of an introvert, so I think I need a larger group, but I also am looking forward to the community-wide aspect of being a part of the chamber. And I'm not sure if I am ready to think about committees yet, but I'm keeping an open mind about that.
Great. Thank you, Anna.
I think it might be a good thing to do, and a fun thing to do.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you. Anyone else want to throw in what they learned and what they want to apply?
I will.
Awesome.
Even though IMS is a business to business networking company, we do a lot with nonprofits. Well, you know what? We don't do that much, not in my Connecticut office. We've been very slim on having nonprofit organizations. That kind of means something. You know, they were basics, and I don't mean to make light of anything when it comes to charities. But, you know, we've got the March of Dimes. They don't really use anything. We've had the Attleboro House that they don't utilize their funds. I mean, I've got Food Share, who's got over $20,000 to spend, and they just they switched hands. But we're, you know, meeting Jill Munson and then a few other organizations that have come up that I feel are more near and dear to my heart that I'd like to bring on, because what we do is a lot of our members and at tax season are very excited to make contributions to a lot of our nonprofits. And this past year, I had a really good year. I was shocked with COVID, but I'm really looking to bring on some nonprofits as well. Do a little bit of my part.
As somebody who works for two nonprofits and is married to somebody who works for a nonprofit, I truly appreciate that. When we talk about how we're the business and community connection, that's part of what we mean. The nonprofits care for our communities, the businesses care for our nonprofits, and everybody rises as a result of our collaboration. So thank you.
All right. Anyone else want to add?
Yeah, just as an existing member, right? And hearing Anne's, and talking about being an introvert, we have a lot of members who are introverts. We have some who are introverts who play very well at being extroverts, but we have a lot of introverted members. And what you'll find as you attend AM Connections and the Business After Hours and you do one-on-ones is that this is a group that is really welcoming and also respectful of the differences that we have as people, right? Some of us are loud and obnoxious, admittedly, right? And there are others who are less so, but we all meet each other where we are, right? And one of the things I've really loved about the West Hartford Chamber is, and I say this to anyone who will listen, it is that right amount of camaraderie as well as let's get it done. Right. It's so if you had the opportunity to join us for AM Connections, you heard us, at 7:15, 7:30 this morning, just gabbing about anything and everything. Right. We talked about, the roots of our
childhood
names.
traumas about our names.
Right. Childhood traumas about our names, music history, just any and everything. And then, we go into our 30-second commercial about who we are and what we do. But what you really get at the end is the gratitude portion. People thanking each other for not just, oh, thank you for that referral that you gave me, but thank you for just being a good person and supporting me through whatever it was I was going through. Right. So be an introvert, be who you are, but realize that you got a great community around you that will support you and help you do more and better business.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Anything else that anyone else wants to add?
I wanted to actually add on to what Chris was just saying, where I'm still very new. I actually just graduated in May, and I graduated with a degree in theater. So business is not my thing. And I'm very new to this whole atmosphere. So coming into my first few meetings, I was very unprepared, and I received like a lot of emails afterwards, people reaching out for one-on-one conversations, and I was like, this is not what I do. I don't know what I'm doing. But after I attended a couple, the conversations that sparked out of them were just so amazing, because it wasn't all business. It was like I had a good 10-minute conversation about Van Gogh with Jennifer from Melaleuca, and like that just stands out to me, even though it was weeks ago. So it really does start coming to you a lot easier, and take that from me, because I had no experience and was very unprepared. So it starts to make sense, and it starts to feel good, and you make really good conversations afterwards.
Well, it's interesting because in one of my past lives, I used to be a sales trainer. So I taught people how to sell. But I also come from a background where I was a psychology major. I wasn't in business. I didn't know anything about business. But one of the things I determined, early on is people do business with people they like and people who make it easy for them to do business. And you will find that, at least for me, 90% of the conversations I have, 99% of the conversations I have, and especially the ones that lead to huge deals for me, are very rarely about dollars and cents and the details of business. It's about us connecting in a very human way.
It's like degree represent, agreed.
Yeah. Like I think about, like even Duncan, when he talked about our conversation at AM Connections this morning, we didn't even discuss, we briefly discussed what it is we do and the clients we're looking for. The hour-long conversation was our synergies about being single dads.
Yeah.
And in real world things. So, don't worry about how much business experience you have or, the technical ins and outs. Just look to connect with people on a human level.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
I wanted to add something. You know that I work for a barter network. So the word, that 4-letter word that starts with C, being cash, is not something that, I very rarely use, except when I tell you I'm going to keep the cash in your pocket. But I got turned on to this meeting by Diana Scott from Blue Castle a long time ago. And I love Diana.
I met her through church. Isn't that fun?
Oh, did you? I love her. So she had turned me on to it a couple of years, probably more than a year ago. And I live in Watertown. I work in Southington. So going to West Hartford really was kind of a trek for me. So this all turning into the virtual and the Zoom meetings made it so much easier for me. And when I first came on, I think I looked stupid. And of course, I'm computer illiterate. And I really am a very outgoing person, but I think I became an introvert when I joined or when I started attending the meetings, because everybody is so friendly and they all know each other and, their kids' names and, whatever size underwear they wear. I don't know. It just seems like everybody knows everything about everyone. And then I found myself really enjoying it. And I literally had to I went to Chris Conway and tried to work my sales magic and get him to let me join on barter. He wasn't so easy. So needless to say that I got the powers that be allowed me to join and paid cash from a barter network. But I just want to say to everybody, this is just a group that I've done networking with other chambers, and I was not happy, and I am thrilled to be a part of this. And I think, as I said about the nonprofit, of course, I'm here to bring in new business for my region, but I'm also looking to give back, and I don't have a lot of time to do things like that. So this is a really good thing for me. And anyone who's not a member, become a member.
I just want to point out there was a moment in there. So Jesse and Chris Clark and I have coined the term talking treasure. Jesse and I found ourselves all the time talking so positively about people behind their backs. And we didn't know what the opposite of talking trash was until Mr. Clark came up with the perfect word, talking treasure. And you'll hear that all the time. People giving glowing reviews about people who aren't even in the room, because this is just such an uplifting, collaborative, we truly want to help each other environment. And there was a moment in there where Jesse and Sue got all excited about a Diane that's not even here today. They were talking treasure.
She's awesome. Also, that says something to the power of networking. Like, she's never even been to our meetings, but I know her.
I know.
And I'm like friends
She
with her.
used to go in
So-
person.
Yeah, she's an amazing person. I love her. Anyway, so
Yeah, and I
so
just
that's
got to
me
add
thinking
to
about-
that on the testimonials, it never ends. Every Friday, I tear up at least twice. So that's it.
Thank you, Sue. All right, Conway, you want to close this out?
Yeah, there was just one thing I failed to mention. First of all, thank you everybody for attending and making this more interactive and participatory. We appreciate that. Kind of an extension of like the e-blasts and the hot deals. Make sure if you're putting something on social media that you want us to know about, tag us. That's a great way for us to know
Yes.
A, what's going on in your business, but B, whenever appropriate, we can also share that as well. So, for example, I don't know if you know this, but today's a very important holiday. It's National Donut Day. So Donut Crazy is doing a promotion where you get a free daily donut with the purchase of a drink. And I knew that was coming up, and they did a nice little graphic for it. So we shared it last night on our social media to help, bring business to them. So it could be something as simple as, Emma, like if you are running a sale or you've got a new line of things in and you're putting that out there, tag us so we're aware of it. We may not necessarily see it on our own, but if you tag us, one of us will see it and take whatever appropriate action we can. On Instagram, we pretty much can comment. We don't do a lot of reposting there, but certainly Facebook we do. So I just wanted to remind people to do that. And it could be something that's not a sale. Some people take, the Playhouse. You could just be taking pictures of, the load in for a new show. That's interesting content that, we put it out there and people will say, oh, gee, I didn't know that show was coming. So, I'm going to go check it out now.
It's also great for connectivity and support, right? So like if I stop in and as a matter of fact, I got to stop by Donut Crazy because, I'll get my arm
free
broken if I
donuts.
don't, right? But so when I stop by Donut Crazy today, I'll take a picture at Donut Crazy and I'll post it, to show my support of the owner, Irene. I was also her ambassador when she joined the chamber. Or if I'm over at Caliban Ramen, my daughters love the place and I've been there like 3 times in the past month. So I'll show that I'm going there, and people who may not necessarily be connected to the chamber will see that I frequent that business and I support that business. So it's a great way for what you're doing to spread even beyond our existing networks on the strength of the people who are in this network.
Yeah. We get that all the time. People will just share pictures of their one-on-ones and just throw them out there just so we can, that we know that they're connecting. That now markets both of their businesses very simply.
Excellent. Well, did you guys have any other questions for us today? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any questions or anything you want to discuss offline, you can always email us. Jesse was jesse@whchamber.com. I am Kate@whchamber.com. And then you're C Conway @whchamber.com, right?
Yes.
We had a question in the.
They made mine before I got here.
John, did you have something to add?
No, it's just an applause. It's fine.
Oh no, somebody's asking where Donut Crazy is. They're right on.
Oh, they're on Farmington Avenue, right in West Hartford Center.
So
I'll
if
be
you
there
know where
this
Zohara
afternoon.
is, right next door.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for joining us,
Thank
and we
you.
look forward to seeing you at future events, and let us know how we can help you.
All right. Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everybody.